Yes, you read the title of that video correctly. Sneasler was bit the dust overnight. We're going to talk about why and what sets got it banned and my thoughts on the ban overall. So, if you guys missed it, on Thursday, the OU Tiering Council put out another survey, and it's actually still open. It's just asking your thoughts on, some Pokemon in the metagame, yada, yada, yada. It's open until 10 o'clock tonight, and apparently, through the first 2 days, Sneasler had a qualified response average of 4.4 out of 5. I think that means in terms of how people feel about it, and I'm pretty sure the closer you get to 5, the more you feel like it should be banned. So, in comparison, Espata ranked lower, Shed-Tail ranked lower, Chin-Pow is higher, which is kind of surprising. Zamazenta was the same, Baxcalibur was higher, and Uship and Hardflame wasn't even this high. So, basically, the OU Council did a sneaky little vote on whether or not Sneasler should say or not. Quick ban suspect or not acting. And basically, 7 of 9 of them said to ban it. One of them asked for a suspect, and Mind Gaming has not voted yet. So, yeah, it was pretty much almost unanimous for a quick ban. So, why did Sneasler get quick ban? Also, if you guys want to read all this crap, I will put it in the description of the video, as always, if you guys want to check that out. So, let's talk about why Sneasler got banned. So, probably the biggest, I'm actually not looking at the most annoying set. This is the most annoying set. So, I think the biggest thing that tipped Sneasler over the edge was Rillaboom coming back into prominence thanks to the readdition of Grassy Glide, and because Sneasler was so good partnered with it. So, Sneasler has the ability Unburden, as you all know. Your speed is doubled when your item is lost. It's kind of like Hawlucha. Hawlucha is another good Unburden user. And so you give it a Grassy Seed. So basically, when Sneasler hits the field, your speed is doubled. Sneasler usually ran Adamant just to max out its attack stat, which is already a blazingly high 130. So you double your speed. Your speed stat is now 678, which is faster than anything in the metagame. I don't even think a Choice Scarf Jolly Dragapult, or Timid Dragapult isn't even that fast. So basically you're outspeeding everything except for yourself. You have a +1 defense boost, so it's a little bit harder to kill you now. With Terra, of course, you can switch your type around. Normally these things ran Terra Flying. Not because Earthquake is that big of a deal, but just to increase the power of acrobatics and get rid of some of your weaknesses, like your 4x weakness is Psychic. You have Sword Dance, so you can boost your attack stat even higher. And you have Dire Claw. Now, Dire Claw is an annoying move on itself. I think this move could have been suspected by itself a long time ago. It's a very finicky move with basically a 50% chance to sleep, poison, or paralyze your target. Somehow, Poison is the least offensive of these 3, which never thought I would have been asking for a Poison chance, but here we are. So, there were very limited counters to this set. Basically, your counter was Goldango and hoping that you didn't die to it from a +2 acrobatics. And I did just pull up the calcs really quick because I wanted to see. So, even a +2 Terra type Sneasler is not even picking up a 2-hit KO on a fully maxed defensive Goldango. But the problem is, if you're running this fully, I don't think this is a good set personally. But if this is the set you're running, you have to Thunder Wave. So you have to switch him with Goldango. And then at max, apologies folks. At most you're doing 42% with Hex. Not great damage. Your Shadow Ball, you might be able to 2-hit KO it, but it doesn't matter because acrobatics will kill you before that because you hit the field. I guess with Grassy Terrain recovery, though, you're getting a bit more recovery. So it's a 73.3% chance to 3-hit KO after leftovers recovering Grassy Terrain recovery. So you have a chance to Shadow Ball it twice. And let's just see how much Shadow Ball is doing because I am curious. Yeah, Shadow Ball has that's not a great chance for a KO. So you can see what the problem is, right? Like you have very limited counterplay to this. You basically have to lose at least a mon or 2 to Sneasler. And you probably have to trade Terras as well in order to beat this set, which is very annoying. So, yeah, that's just one of the sets. that you could use for it. When the DLC first came out, not DLC, excuse me, when Home finally came to Scarlet and Violet originally, White Herb solo setup Sneasler was the play. I haven't really seen this set a whole lot lately though. It's mostly just been the Rilla partner set. But basically you just use White Herb, unburden, close combat. Close combat would activate the unburden. I personally ran Shadow Claw in the third set to purposely hit Goldango. Dire Claw, of course. You could also run Acro instead of Shadow Claw, obviously. Also, except for Rilla partner, I'm kind of just making up the Terra types for these, just a little editor's note. You don't even have to run Sword Dance because you'd want the immediate like close combat activation. So sometimes you wouldn't even run Sword Dance, you just run Acrobatics in the 4th slot. Of course, you could still run Adamant with this set. So yeah, pretty freaking annoying. So there are 2 other sets that I have seen running around a bit. I've seen Choice Scarf Sneasler. I've not seen Choice Band, only Choice Scarf. And this obviously uses Poison Touch. So on each of your contact move, which all Sneasler's moves are, or the ones you should be using at least because your special attack is a measly 40, you'd have a 30% chance of poisoning. So on top of Dire Claws, 50% chance to sleep, poison, and paralyze, you also had an additional 30% chance of poison. So basically you were getting a status on your opponent like pretty much every time you click Dire Claw. You can click Close Combat as well, just for damage. Shadow Claw for your Goldangos. You didn't run Acrobatics on Choice Scarf. And honestly, I looked at Sneasler's moves. I guess you could run Fire Punch to hit Steel types. And I guess Fire Punch actually has a slightly higher power than Shadow Claw. Because there's not really any other, I don't think there's any ghost types in OU right now, except for Goldango. Oh, there's actually 2 very prominent ones. So yeah, you definitely would want to run Shadow Claw actually instead. And then U-Turn, of course, was the most offensive. This is a easy 70 base power damage with the Poison Touch. Very easy to pivot. You're very fast, obviously, with Choice Scarf. I think you'd have to run Jolly, because Jolly allows you to hit Enamorous on the switch-in. Not the switch-in, but Enamorous, you couldn't be outsped by Enamorous, because if you do run Adamant, you end up being 2 points slower than other Choice Scarf Enamorous, and Choice Scarf is still a very good item on Enamorous. The final set that I'd seen a couple of times was Pivoter Sneasler with heavy-duty boots. I guess you could also run Life Orb on this, but it would basically just spam Poison Touch, trying to get as many Poison Touch chances as possible between Fake Out and U-Turn, and maybe a Dire Claw and Close Combat in between if your opponent didn't really have any viable switch-ins. So yeah, those are the Sneasler sets that got it banned. So my thoughts, I can't give a super confident this should not have been immediately quick banned, because I haven't played a whole lot of Pokemon the last few weeks since Rillaboom got its Grassy Glide back and it became a prominent member of OU. However, I can say I'm a bit shocked that this thing was quick banned, considering I know it was on the radar. So it was on the radar, right? But it's, I don't know, it feels weird when a Pokemon is just randomly banned out of nowhere. There's no suspect test going on right now. I don't think it would have been a terrible decision to suspect it, even though the suspect test would have more than likely been to ban it, given that it was a 4.4 out of 5, and given the history of other offensive things in OU that were very not obvious, or what's the word I'm trying to say? They were very agreed upon that they were OP for the metagame. So I don't know. I think it's a bit random, but also if a suspect test happened, we probably know the results of it. I always am in favor of suspect testing stuff, though, that's not destroying the metagame. I don't think Sneasler was just like completely blowing up the metagame. So I think suspect testing is always the right play, in just in a democracy kind of sense. But I can understand why it was quick banned. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, though. Do you agree? Do you think it should have been banned? Think it should have been suspected? How do you feel that Sneasler's gone? Are you going to play more Pokemon now? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. And thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I do have a video planned with Cyberledge, so make sure to check it out. Peace.